Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our the Hindu and the current affairs news analysis. Under that we will study the major news and yes we will analyze with respect to the different perspective and relevance of the UPSC prelims, mains and interview. Okay, it is also useful for the state PCS and other competitive examinations. So we'll start with the first news, and this first page we will start with this Champai Soren, and this is the political news. This has been given this this is this has he has taken the oath as the 12th CM of the Jharkhand. Second important news that is yes, you should know that this actor Vijay, he floated the party, and the name of this party is Tamizga Vettri Kajagam. Okay, so this is the party name. Again, this is going on into the Gyanvapi Mosque, and still there is a tussle. They have not got the interim support. Yes. Other important news that we are going to take is from here. This all is the political. No. Yes. Anything else here? Yes. This is the relevant for us. This is associated with the new scheme, government scheme, Pradhan Mantri Suryoday Yojana, and just remember that it has been pronounced again this budget, and under that we are going to provide this 1 crore of the family with this solar panel at the rooftop, and it will have the investment of 1 lakh crore, but the government has provided only 4,000 something, 4,000 some 100 crore. Okay, so this is not okay here 4,555 crore. So this is very minuscule, and yes, this will be provided through the loan as well. As per that, there will be the rooftop, and yes, connection will be free if it is the consumption is for the 300 unit, and if it is going after that, there will be the payment you need to pay. But overall the all India level, the average is the 10 to 120 units, so they will get the benefit. Okay. Other thing is that yes, this is going to electrify 1 crore household, and the cost could be 1.5 lakh crore. So this is all about. Next important news that we are going to take is with respect to this again that is going on into the yes, Arabian Sea and Somali. There is the pirates, the attack continue, and here you can use again this that till this year 7 incident of such attack we have filed. So you can provide that Indian Navy and India as a net security provider into the Indian Ocean and the Arabian. So this is the example. Last we seen as the INS Sarda. Again this time it is the Omeril of this is the vessel name. Okay, Omeril. This is on the Somalian coastal area. Next important news that we are going to take is with respect to this Uttarakhand committee on the UCC uniform civil code, and there is always controversy. Now they have come up with this uniform civil code, and they are talking about that they are going to implement very soon. And this report is talking that there is need to strict punishment for the triple talaq and the halal practices. Okay, and they are talking that they are not going to implement this into the tribal area. They will just create tussle between the two communities. That's why we are not going to do. Okay, so yes, UCC is very important, and this is need of the to bring the unity, and there is the justice for the women, because due to this religion there is the negative impact on the women's right. And but the thing is that you should not create a tussle. It should be the a proper conciliation debate, and then it should be the in a gradual manner. So this whenever you write the answer, yes, you always take a stand that this is very important, and it has been provided under the DPSP article 44. But the thing is that the way you are going to implement that matter. Okay, like take a very simple example. The population control was very important, but the way Sanjay Gandhi implemented during the emergency, this was not good. Okay, so the thing is good, but the way you are going to implement this matters. It doesn't matter that you are going to do good thing in the bad manner. Okay. The law that suggests that retaining the criminal defamation this provision into the Yes, so because we consider this defamation is always against to the right to freedom of speech, but there is need to balance between the freedom of speech and respecting the dignity and reputation of others. That's why it is talking that this defamation, criminal defamation, will help into the protecting the reputation, and this is very important for the a dignified life that is provided under the Article 21. So this is talking, we need to balance, so they have asked to retain this criminal defamation, but yes, to safeguard that there should be no misuse, that the punishment can be, could have the alternative, like the victim can be given this for community service as the additional punishment, so that without being the harsh in the that person we can culprit, we can provide some balancing freedom of speech as well as the right to dignified life. Speech ought to be illegal only where there it mean to be do substantial harm, and when such harm materialized, if this has not done, this defamation case will be not considered. Okay, so this is all about. Next important news that we will take is with respect to this Indian financial, this financial market, and this India's financial market, now the access to the global market. This is the context. It is in the context of recently we have seen that JP Morgan unveiled the plan to include Indian local currency government bond into the its index emerging market global index suite. Okay, so it will provide the Indian bond and equity to get opportunity attract the investment in the foreign market into the Indian currency. So this is all about. So this will provide this India's fully accessible route. Okay, bond to the Bloomberg Emerging Market Local Currency Index. So here it is talking about that whenever these companies or the government, it is for the government, so the government bond now can attract the money not from the domestic market but also from the global market. So let's make it simple, because here this is very complicated thing. Financial market, capital market, bonds, equity, this is very a bit complex, but let's me simplify here. Then we will further go about the details of this. So what is the bond and what is the equity? You should know how their rate, how their demand fluctuates. You should also know. And let's see. So what is the bond and what is equity? Equity is like the share and bond is like a paper that is promise. This is the a paper. It's promise that whenever you will return it to the back, you will get this amount of money, and during this time you will get the interest rate as well. Interest rate. Okay, so means if you will purchase this bond, so let's for the 1 year, so it will be 100 rupees you have to pay. After that it will continuously give you 2 rupees on a monthly basis, and in the end it will by the 1 years, after 1 years it will return this 100 rupees as well. Okay, so this is the maturity period 1 years when it will return its back. Or it could be also, if it is not paying interest, it will say that after 1 year it will pay you 110 rupees. Okay, so this 10 rupees is your benefit, profit. This is the bond promise you to give this amount after this particular time of duration. This duration is known as the maturity. Okay, here the share with the company, and anything has to nothing to do with this with the share. Bond not implies with the share. So this is done if this company is here and it's need money 10 crore, so that it can provide it can expand its business. In 1 year it will earn, and after that it will return. But now 10 crore that is needed. So where it will get, it will go with this bond, this papers, with the promise that they will pay some higher amount so that it could attract the people investment. So this is about the bond. Bond is the a written promise, a paper that give promise that it will give you a return. And there is the duration. It could be the 1 years, 2 years. After that, you will get the whole money as well. So this is known as the maturity period. The second thing is that there is the equity, that is also known as the share. Equity. This is the share. This give you the share in the company. It means that if the company perform well, your equity value will increase. If it's perform bad, its equity value will decrease. Here it is the fixed money. It has nothing to do with that. Means whenever you come after 1 year, you will get the benefit. Here the risk is high, but yes, in the case of this performance going very well, so you will get a high benefit as well. Means instead of, if you will get the 100 rupees of the equity and it is doing very well, so after 2 years it could be 3 times 300 rupees. So the benefit is high. But if this company is not performing well, you can get 10 rupees after 3 years. So there is the high risk, there is the chances of the loss as well. But in the bond, you will be always get the some benefit. There is very less chance of the risk. Okay. So this is all about. But in between, the people also before if it has not completed 1 year and maturity period is 1 year, and in between people want that person who has bought this bond and it's need the money, 100 rupees back. So in between he can sell its bond and in the secondary market, and there could be this change in this pricing value. The face value of this bond can change. So if this company is performing well and there is surety that yes, it will get to this 110, so this bond could get to this could be he can sell in 98 rupees and also 102 rupees. That depend upon the how the performance is going on. Okay, but still the performance is not here compared with the loss, but here with respect to the bank interest rate. Bank interest rate. Why the bank interest rate? Generally in the market, if I have to earn some money, I have 10,000 rupees in my pocket. I want to earn some extra money, because if I will keep with myself, it will be the 10,000 after the 2 years as well. But if I will go in the bank can give 4%, 8%, 10% interest rate. Means if I will submit deposit my 10,000, so after 1 year, if there is the 8% interest rate, I will get the some rupees. Okay, so what will be the 8% of the 8% of the 10,000? So let's calculate 10,000 8%. Okay, so 800 rupees I will get after 1 year. Means 10,800 I will have. So why not I will deposit into the bank? Because if I will deposit, I will get the interest rate. Same time, if I will give this bond, purchase the bond, there is the chances that I will have the 11,000. So instead of bank, I will go to the bond market. I have two avenue to earn the money of whatever money I have. Either I can deposit in the bank rate, or I will go for the purchase of the bond. Okay. So if I will see that the bank rate is lesser, this bond money is getting more, so I will go with that. But in between, I find that this interest rate of the bank increase 8 to 12%. Means I am getting more benefit. I will sell my bond here. I will go for this interest rate, because the benefit is more in the case of here. Are you getting the? We have to choose between the bank interest rate and this bond price when I have to earn the money. That's why in the between we sell this bond. And if this bond depends the price in between when we will sell it, what will be the price? It depends upon the interest rate. If interest rate is high, so its value will be less. Okay, so people will pay just 98 rupees. There will be no demand. But if this is going down, the interest rate is going to 7% or 6%. So here there is no this avenue is not that much beneficial, so what the people will do, they will hold, and if they will sell, they will sell with the higher price so that they can earn more. Okay, if they have the need, the value of this bond will be more. In the last, they will get the benefit after the returning back here. Okay, so this is the choices in the between the bond is being sold due to the this interest rate impact. Same is with the equity. Again, we go for the interest rate and we go for the equity and the bond rate. So we have to choose either this, either this, either this. This is the safest because the government promised to pay back for the public bank. Here it is also safe, but here is the risk because it depends upon the performance. But the benefit is very high. There could be the 3 times. There is also risk of the 10 rupees. This 100 rupees can be 300 or the 10 rupees. This is the equity and the sale. Okay. So this is all about. So there is the 2 avenue. One is that this bond can be sold into the domestic market, means in India only. Foreigners do not going to buy this. If they are going to buy, they will buy in their own money, dollars or the euro, whatever their money they have in, or the renminbi. So they will buy in that. They will not going to pay in the rupees. But now, as per this article, they are going to buy into the Indian currency. I will explain that. But here is you should understand that the domestic players, they buy, and if the external foreigners is not buying, we have the limited money here. Maybe Indian have the 10 lakh crore. Okay. But if you will enter into the foreign market, maybe it could be we can add 50 lakh more. So whenever you enter into the foreign market, you have more chances to get this bond and more investment in this company. Okay. Here the money will come from here. So it is considered as the good if you are entering into the foreign capital market. So Indian bond, this government bond, now it has been accepted. We are promoting into the foreign market. That is telling here. It is telling that this JP Morgan, they have included it under its index suite. What does this mean? Before entering into the knowing what mean this, you should know this JP Morgan, or this has mentioned here. The other is FTSE Russell. What are these companies? They are the companies who study about the condition, situation, performance of those companies who are going to issue these bonds. Maybe I am a company, I am issuing a bond. How the investors who want to invest will know about me? So these companies study and give the indices as per the performance. Maybe who it could be the between anywhere. Maybe if I am performing well, so I am getting 100. Who are not performing well, they are getting 40. So investor will know that this company, this equity, this bond is better as compared to the other bond. This country is if it has to compare with the government, because it is the government bond. So they will compare with the different governments, Indian government bond, Singapore government bond, or the other Japanese bond. Okay, so they will give performance of this government on the 100, 120, 80, 70. This will be give the pictures. This will help the investor to know the performance where they need to invest their money. Okay. So investor will also, if this indices is provided, it is good that the investor will invest more and more. And also the country can rectify and reform to improve their performance. So it is good for the everyone. So if they are going to include in their indices, means the value, the access to the foreign money is going to increase, because people in the foreign country, they will know how the Indian government bond is doing, and that's why they can put their money into this bond. Is it clear? You should know what they do. They do just study, they provide the indices. the mark, they provide the scores of these bonds. It could be the government bond, it could be the private bond, any people who is going to issue the bond, or the sovereign government going to going to issue this bond. So you should be clear that what is the equity, what is the bond, and how their performance is judged, what are these JP Morgans and here, because it makes this very complicated if you don't know the basics about this thing. Okay. Later, here it is going to discuss that in this paragraph, it is mentioning that yes, India commenced this entering into the global indices, and for this with the uh, by the 2020. We started, we give indication in 2019, by the 2020 we have entered. Okay. So, yes, here I want to mention that what is mean by the this in a local currency. Here it has mentioned that the local currency government bond. So what is the local currency? So here you need once more a bit conceptual clarity that what this mean. Okay. Like you understand what is bond? Okay. So there is chance that in the India you are selling this bond for the 100 rupees. Okay. And all Indians coming with the 100 rupees and purchasing it with the that. But what is if you are going in the foreign market? You have entered into the foreign market. This is the border. This is the in India. This is the in the rupees. Rupees is going on. There is no issue. But if you are going into the foreign market, and here you need to sell into the rupees. So if the foreigner want to purchase your 100 rupees bond, so he will come with the dollars. So $1 he will come, and before purchasing your bond he will convert it's $1 to the 70 rupees. Okay. So maybe 70 rupees, maybe euro. For simplification, think that this 1 euro is 100 rupees. Okay. So he converted here, convert in rupees. And here he will go and deposit 100 rupees and get this bond to himself. Bond. Okay, this foreigner has received the bond. After 1 year, if there is a fluctuation in the market and this convertibility of rupees, the value of rupees change, it's become either 110 or 90. If it is appreciated, so it will be 90. If it will be depreciated, it will be 110. Means yes. So now you come here with this bond. Okay. And you get 108 rupees. As per the bond maturity period, it's promised that after 1 year it will give 108 rupees. So what will you do? You will come on this window again, and that foreigner will give the this bond, and it will get 108 rupees. The foreigner has the 108 rupees, but the rupees value doesn't matter for him, because as his country accept only the dollars. So what will he do? He will come again to here and ask for the conversion. But here if it has changed 110, so he will give 108 rupees, and he will, as the value of this money has increased, rupees has increased with respect to this. So what he will get? He will get less than 108. Are you getting the? Are you getting the? Here there is the complication. Here. Let me explain again. Now 110 for the $1. Okay. 100, he came with the 100 rupees, but due to the depreciation, now it has decreased the value. For the same 1 euro, now it need 110. Despite it has earned 108, but actually it has not that much benefited, because here it has depreciated. He will give 108, still he will not get this 1 euro. What he had to give? 2 more from its pocket, then it will become 110 rupees, then he will get 1. Means he is getting less than 1 euro. Less than 1 euro due to the depreciation of this money. So there is the risk of this investor with respect to the exchange rate. It is known as the exchange rate. If you give 1 euro and you get 100 rupees, this is the exchange rate. If it is going to depreciate the value of the money, depreciation means whatever the value you have previously, if you will give 70 rupees and you will get $1. Now if your values decrease, you will give 80 rupees and you will get $1. Means to get $1 you have to pay more. Means your value of your money has decreased. For example, if there is the milk for the 60 rupees per liter, after 1 year you go and you get for the 70 rupees. So the values of these rupees had decreased. Means on the same 60 rupees you are not going to get 1 liter but less than 1 liter. So you should understand all this. So this person has the risk when it is going to buy it into the rupees. That's why generally this investor buy into the dollars, their own currency, not the currencies of this country. So here India is going to sell this bond in its own currency, means in the rupees. This is the achievement because we have shifted the risk to the investor. Otherwise, if you will do this for their money, foreigners' money in the dollars and euro, the risk will with the Indian companies who had issued those bonds. So in the same manner, now the thing reverse. The Indian companies go and convert the dollar into the money, and that's why the decrease in the value of money, their profit they have to pay much more as compared to the previously. So this you should all understand. That's why there will be the clarity that yes. So if it is going to open, so what is the benefit of this? Here it has mentioned that this has some benefit. Okay, so what are the benefit here? It has mentioned that now we have the more access, including the diminished dependence on the public finance of the domestic institution. Now we have the foreigners where we can get money as well. Initially, if we were not in the foreign market with the Indian rupees, what was the we have the limited investor. Now we have the more people to borrow. Otherwise, in the India, maybe there could be the 10 lakh people, but if you will go in the foreign market, there could be the 10 lakh more people. So due to the acceptance of this, now we Indian companies and those who are working in the market, they have the more avenue to get the investment. A greater stability of the fund tracking indices compared to the other portfolio inflows, the potential risks such as the heightened sensitive domestic monetary and the financial condition policies of the external factor. So here it has mentioned that okay, there is the condition that yes, we are going to get more stability as we have more avenue. There could be the less chances, otherwise the less people. There could be the, if all 10 lakh people want to withdraw give their return their bond and get the money, so the company cannot flourish. Company need a time so that they can earn. They need 1 years in the between. If someone comes and asks the back my money, so they suddenly have to readjust. The company cannot readjust. So there could be the instability in the market. So if we have the Indian as well as the foreigner, so more diversity. So suddenly the people will not come to return the bond and get the money. So stability is there. But the risk is that now if you are going for the foreigners, their own currency, there is the chance that you have increased the risk, widen the risk. If anything happen in their country, they will suddenly come, return the bond and get the money back, and that there will be the instability. So you have widened the, otherwise it was insulated to India. Whatever the condition could have in India, you could have predicted in the very advance. So foreign country, their own the decision of their reserve bank, central bank, like the India have the Reserve Bank of India, its decision impacts. If the interest rate is increase or decrease, that impact the bond market as well, as we studied the relation. So here it is telling that yes, there is the benefit, like it will facilitate the financing and the fiscal deficit, current account deficit and the fiscal deficit. And we, whenever we have this deficit, we can take borrowing, we can continue with our plan. Okay. cost of public borrowing would decline as the influx of the fund into this local currency global bond lowers domestic interest rate. So you should understand how it's lowered the domestic interest rate. Okay, so yes, let me explain. It is taking time, but we are going into the fundamental basics. How it is telling that yes, it will lower the interest market. For example, here is the bank, and in India, this company have to search for the money. So if it will go for this, and there are the many companies and industry who want the loan from this, if they all go and the bank is less, only one bank, so the value of this loan will increase. Instead of 8, they will say that the interest rate will be 10, because I have the so many customers, I can give anyone. But if we are going to open for the foreigners, so there will be the more banks. So instead of coming all this bank, there is the opportunity, there is the more choice for this person to get the loans. If it is the bond also give the opportunity and a destination for the invest and get the money. Loan is a type of bond is also provide a type of credit loan. So here, if they are ready to buy, so this bank, if you will see that they are getting the money by anyway by the bond itself, they will lower their interest rate, because the competition here is less, because many of will come here, they will they will not go for this bank itself. They will go, but the competition will be lowered. There is the avenue for to get some money from these bonds as well. So that's why this statement is here that yes, it will lower the domestic interest rate. Okay. And this fund will relieve the balance sheet of the local financial institution holding the local currency government bond. Here it is telling that one more thing, this bank will also get benefit due to this opening, because as these bank also have this bonds of government. Okay, now they have the chance that they can sell this here, they will have the more money, and they can give directly this money to them as well. Okay, so these banks, otherwise this bond would have been rested with these banks without any productivity. Now they have sold to this, they are earning from them as well, and they are getting the money, they are giving the interest and loan to these companies. So please try to understand, this is a complicated, but if you will try to understand, this is not that much complicated. I think you have understood whatever we have discussed. A key benefit of opening the local bond market to the foreign investor, this is due to the original sin problem of these developing countries, because these developing countries when go for the international market, they don't have that much demand, they do not get the easy money, and that's why they have to pay very high interest rate. And that's why if the bond is going to be going to create one more avenue, so it is giving them a relief and yes, opportunity. So that's why it is the original thing, inability of this emerging economy to borrow internationally in their own currency. So this is original sin of emerging market. Emerging market, whenever go into the foreign market, they generally have to borrow in the foreigners their own currency, not the Indian currency or the developing country. It could be the Brazil as well, it could be the Turkey as well. They have to Indonesia as well. Means these are the emerging market, and whenever they receive this loan with their own currency, not in the local currency of the India. They have to get it into the dollar or the yen or anything, and you have to retain into the same. So the risk is with you. Whenever there is the devaluation of the money, you are going to get loss. Okay, the loss will be occurred to you. Unlike the local currency debt, external debt denominated in the reserve currency expose the debtor to the exchange rate risk. Already we understand how the exchange rate change, as we saw that the money values change could be 100 rupees to the 110. Okay, so this sharp currency decline, this exposed could result into the widespread. Okay, so these are the losses we have seen. It has given that we have seen such example of the loss into the Asia and the Latin America. So here it has mentioned all this thing. Okay. Next, he is mentioning that the local currency bond need offer higher return than the foreign forex bond issued under the foreign jurisdiction. Okay. So whenever we go with the local currency bond, as there is the more risk to the investor, in that case, what we provide the more interest rate on these bonds so that we can attract. Otherwise, investor has a risk. Why they will come? So we have to promise that instead of the, if you will buy in 100 rupees, we will go give you 115 rupees, 120 rupees after 1 year. Means otherwise, other in the their own currency, if they are getting in 110 rupees for the 100, why they will go for the 100 for the converting into the Indian rupees? Local currency. So they will prefer to the invest into their dollar itself. If we have to ask that please come and invest in the rupees because you promise that you are going to give them more benefit. So this here it has mentioned a significant loss of autonomy in controlling the long-term rates. Here it is criticizing this. There is the high risk because there is the controlling the long-term rates and expose them to the greater interest rate risk. When global risk appetite and liquidity this change, the domestic bond market too can get crippled and due to the adverse spillover. Here it is talking that yes, you are getting the larger market in the foreign market if you are going outside your domestic boundary. But there is the also he is talking that lot of risk of the long term stability and the rate. There could be the global market continuously get fluctuated by the different sentiments. There could be the pandemics that is impacting the other countries. So that is impacting the demand of the bonds and money. People may be getting ill and they want to get their money back. Maybe their own Reserve Bank of India, central bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India, their own central bank going to give more interest rate. Again, they will sell their bond, get money, and they will invest there. So the fluctuation is more here. So this is talking here, and it has given the example of the Lehman collapse and the U.S. Reserve Bank that revealed that it is going to start reducing bond purchase. So there was the impact on this bond of the other countries, the demand for those countries as well. Okay, so other thing is that this local currency sovereign debt, this bond is not held by the this central bank in their reserve. So this is also making them more riskier. Okay, here it has given the example of Malaysia, what happened during that. There are a significant variation over the time in the share of the foreigners in the local bond market, and so sudden stop and exit. They can suddenly they stop. There could be the there is the very less predictability of this type of the investment because maybe suddenly these all bonds purchased in the foreign market could stop. Even they can start exiting. So it has given the example of Malaysia here, and it's create the whole economy in a crisis condition, crisis situation. Okay, so just here it has given that this was effort that we enter into the foreign market with our own currency with our own bond. So it is the one facet of the broader effort of internationalize the Indian rupees. Okay, so it means that if you are going and those who are purchasing in Indian rupees, so acceptability of Indian rupees is going to increase. Other thing that we have done for the increase this acceptance of Indian rupees is that we have allowed this banking services in the rupees into the many countries. We have given the example here, 17 banks to settle this trade into the 65 offshore deposit accounts. So RBI has granted this that you can settle this into the Indian rupees in the foreign territories as well, and it has given here. Okay, so here it has again given the example of this Malaysia and Turkey. and offshore this market, how that crippled down when there was the change into the, again we have studied all this, that how there is the change in the sentiment of the foreign market and other global condition, and how this can reduce and impact. Here it has given the one of the statement from the former governor, who said that this internationalization of Indian currency, this is not the one day thing. It need to evolve, and clearly it should be clearly built. There should be the policy and strategy, and after that it should done in a very gradual manner, and it should be based on the performance of the Indian market. Okay, so it should be the basis on the financial system and the performance of economy. If the India is performing well, then it should go, and that will be more stable, more consistent. Okay, so that's we are seeing that yes, India have the trade deficit and other drawback in its economy. We are importing from the Chinese. We are not stabilizing our own manufacturing and other processes. So this is that if you are going without the preparation of all this thing, you are going to impacted by the any small change into the foreign market and their central bank's decision. So what we need to work on all this, and a more likely outcome of such, here again it has given the what is the impact in a very precise manner, that it increased the exchange rate instability and boom bust cycle in the capital flow. Suddenly, if there is the increase or decrease in the interest rate of these foreign countries, there will be the high inflow. If they decrease or there is the change, they will get inflow back. So this is very much a boom and bust cycle. There is no stability. Whenever there is the investment, it should be the long period, because business to shape its functioning and its performance need time. Means if I will open some company, it is not going to perform in 1 month or 2 months. It's take 1 year, 2 years. If someone is giving me money for to invest in my company, they need to wait. If they will do all submit or deposit the money and withdraw the money in a frequently manner, I will not able to take the decision, and that's why it is not good for the company and the economy of that country. So this is all about. Next news that we will take is this: a rising tide lift all boats. So it is about the recently we saw our it is about the comment on this Indian budget, interim budget. So this has a very very positive comment here. It has mentioned that there has been the Indian economy is bright spot now, consistently 7% growth we are, while the global growth rate is the 2.5%. So this all initiative into the interim budget to promote the HPV, this human papilloma virus vaccine. This is a very good step, and yes, it will help to reduce the burden on the health sector, and she's telling that it should expand to the non-communicable disease, other non-communicable disease as well. And she has mentioned that in the last 4 decades we have performed very well into the the decreasing the infant mortality and the maternal mortality. Okay, we have also achieved the increase into the life expectancy from the 53 years to the 70 years. Now the people have more life time. This has been achieved into the less than 2 budgetary percent of the allocation. So here you should remember that in the health sector, the 2% is the allocation out of the 100 rupees of the total budget. 2 rupees is we investing into the health. So please remember, whenever you have to write about, you can give suggestion that this should be increased 2 to 4%, 6%. Okay, like this. So yes, beside that, she has mentioned that the recent this 1,000 corpus of the for the research and development. This this corpus, the 1 lakh allocation that has given into the budget, this is for the research and development. The loan will be provided, and for the 50 years there will be the interest, no interest on this loan. If you want to do the research and development, please take the money and you can do. This is for the private sector as well. So this is good. This is telling, she is telling that it will impact the health sector as well, because health sector is also impacted by the new development into the technology. Like the now we are talking about the teletherapy, telemedication. So if there will be the more such research, such development of the invention of the technology, we can reduce this need for the more doctors. Even the lesser doctors can have the more footprints. They could take care of the healthcare. They can take this healthcare of the large population. So this already India is facing the skewed doctor-patient ratio. This means that if there is the 1,000 patient, we have only 2 doctors, 2 for them. So this is the very less in India. Just I am giving an example. So this is the ratio. So by that inventing this technology, we can reduce this. Beside that, there is the opportunity for this medical sector, because India can also promote this as the tourism, because Indian medical system, this is a bit low cost, cheaper, and the quality and the use of the technology and the achievement effectiveness is a bit higher. And recently we have seen that Heal in India, this was the slogan that we are promoting for the tourism, medical tourism in India. So this is all about, so she is talking that enhancing the connectivity will also enhance this access. And yes, this budget give a positive sign of the due to the private expenditure and has increased and increase in the consumption as well as per this interim budget. So this is all about. Next important news that we are going to take is with respect to this committee that is about to be formed, and it was mentioned in during the interim budget, and it has mentioned that this committee will take this challenge and how we are going to face this challenge due to the fast population growth and demographic change. So, but this is about that you are not taking the census, you are not holding the census, and you are talking about these committees. If you don't have the data, how you will calculate all the things? So, this is talking about that even since colonial period, since 1881, there has been the continuous census in a decade. But this is the first time that from the 1881 that we have not held the census. Already we have seen that there is the decrease in the fertility rate. Total fertility rate means the childbirth that a woman gives in her lifetime. And one is leaving few of the superstar states. Most of the states have reached to the fertility rate less than replacement rate. And superstar state Bihar, UP, these are the superstar state where we still seeing the high rate of the birth. And this Meghalaya, you should remember, this is the deviation. This Manipur is also, all they are in the news. Jharkhand, okay, all they are new. This Jharkhand is news because of the Mr. Hemant Soren. This is Meghalaya. Manipur is due to their conflict is going on. Bihar, there is again shift in the coalition. All these things. Okay, it has mentioned that there has been the decrease in total of fertility rate, a drastic change from the 5.7 in the 1950 to the 2 in the 2020. So population share of the southern state. This paragraph talk about the how the southern state are not satisfied with the whatever is going on, the distribution of their share into the tax, and different resentment we see from the southern state. It is due to their share in the population had decreased, and it is due to their socio-economic condition. They have the better socio-economic condition, they have better education, they have controlled their population, but they are facing the drawback of this, because if the population percentage decrease, your share into the share of this division of taxes decrease. Beside that, the seats decrease. For example, even the seats in the parliament is as per the population, if there is the 100 population overall, and if due to this 100 there is a 100 seat, if their population is decreasing from 26 to 21, so their seat will decrease from 26 to 21. Okay, so their power, their political power decreases. That's why there is the resentment, and we always see the comment from the southern leaders and yes, political parties. There is no sense of this delayed implementation of the census, and what is the reason? There is we don't know, and maybe there is the other priorities of this union home ministry. Maybe they have to form the government, state government in different states. Now they are in the Jharkhand. Okay, so demographic shift in India and rising life expectancy have resulted into the challenge and opportunity. This demographic shift has both the challenge, because we have the youth, large number of youth we can use for the productivity, but if there is no employment opportunity, what will they will do? There is the social chaos. They will involve in the violence and other such activity. So this demographic dividend, what is this? This is the relatively high proportion of the working age population in the developing world. This has been shown across the world. Okay. So it is meaningful only we will provide the job and the social security of the when they are going to face the old age. Okay, so this both area we have not seen any development, and with high employment and the creation of non-farm job, which will increase the productivity and cater to the skilled employment, relatively slack in the last few years. We have seen there is the decrease in this this productivity and skilled employment. We have seen increase in this in unemployment, and yes, so this is not needed. This we need. Unemployment is not desirable. We desire a skilled employment and non-farm jobs. Okay. High powered committee will perform its crucial role if it is going to be engaged in the meaningful area, that think about how this employment will be provided, how are going to provide the safety net, yes, and how they are going to face the challenge of this rapid urbanization and mechanization of work. If they are going to think on this area, it will be beneficial, but what they are going to think, they are going to think that how the issues is arising through the lens of religion and immigration. They will talk about the Muslim immigration in the Assam and West Bengal, and they create a tussle between the own population and citizen instead of creating this area, and this is the issue that is not going to resolve this issue of the democratic unused demographic dividends, and this will also cost on the democratic dividends. Democratic because India is a largest democratic country of the world. So you should consider this. The next is talking about the what is going in the Palestine and this Israel. We have seen that this foreign secretary of UK, this David Cameron, has mentioned that yes, we are going to recognize this Palestinian state. That was not acceptable till now. Even we have seen this US, there is the State Department, they are reviewing for the this Palestinian state recognition. And this was before this 7 October attack. There was a sense that yes, this Palestinian issue has vanished. We can make a new word without this Palestine. But due to this attack, total focus has shifted to the this Palestinian cause and Palestinian issue. And now we see that yes, this is the Britain responsibility, because Britain has a historical stake in this all that is going in the Israel, because they first time recognized that yes, there will be the Israeli state and Zionist claim in the land of the Ottoman Palestine. And in 1917, please remember this during the World War First, they promised that under the Balfour Declaration that they will support the creation of a homeland for the Jews into the Palestinian land. Okay, so this was started, but yes, a Zionist movement grew, and after that we saw that from the 1948 Palestinian this Israeli state came, and but after that there is the when it's this Palestinian state decreased and encroached by this. This Israeli expansion. You can see how the expansion has taken place in this map. Okay, This Oslo process of 1980, there were the multiple diplomatic efforts that was made to bring this solution of the two-state. We should provide the two-state in this land of the Palestine, one to the Israel and other to the Palestine. But we have seen this is not fruitful, and we have seen that continuous degradation of that, and this Jewish settler is expanding even those minuscule area. You have seen that this minuscule area of this Palestine, even there are the 7 lakh Jewish settlers in the West Bank, that is for the Palestinian cause, Palestinian state, and even in the East Jerusalem, and they are continuously expanding. Okay, for that this Palestinian settlers pushing for the control of the whole of Palestinian territories. Okay, and by any way this is unsustainable, because this will create a cycle of violence and instability. This is going to be there. Okay, so this mushrooming of settlers and growing of the violence, this is not solution. This is going to give the more extremist militant into the region. That's why the solution is the two-state theory, the two-state solution. Now we have covered most of the relevant news. Further there is news, but they are not that much relevant. We already have covered with respect to the India-Myanmar borderline and the free regime. So we will not go into that particular. And here we will conclude our session. All the best. Thank you for joining the session. Jai Hind.